I actually lost the live commentary of this video, so we're gonna just voice over it and I'm gonna explain to you all my thought process. Since the last time being here, I had an advantage. I knew where the enemies were gonna be, but not where they were, if that makes sense. We saw from the last replay we've done, each time you play a mission, it's different. Sometimes there are more enemies in one area than there was last time. So to avoid the shootout from the entrance like the last video, I just avoided the entrance entirely and went straight to the stairs. Once I approached the door to the server room where our first objective was, an enemy opened the door once again, and this time I gave him a chance to drop his weapon. But he wouldn't drop the gun when I asked nicely, so I took him out. I made my way inside the home and one of my men took out another enemy around this corner. I kept my eyes on this open door while my squad went and cleared the rest of the room. Within a split second, a man busted the door open with a gun, so I took him out as well. I learned from last time you can't give dudes with guns a chance anymore. If they come at me aggressively, I'm just gonna shoot them, whether they're a civilian or not, or whether they would drop their gun or not. I secured the bodies and guns, then completed our first objective. I then made my way to the next door and cleared the room. I mirrored the door and saw there was no enemies in the area. I lockpicked the door and carefully made my way in. I remembered my captain saying there were multiple shooters on site, so I kept my eyes on the balcony above and stayed away from the ledges to keep cover from anyone below. I spotted an enemy on the balcony. I yelled for him to get down, but the man was being difficult. I was making my way up to deal with him, but then I heard my men yelling at someone downstairs. I stayed behind cover to make my way down and help my squad. Why did they go downstairs? I don't even know, but they did, so now I had to make sure none of them died. And when I got down there was two civilians. One just ran when I gave an order to get down. Dumbest move possible. If I wanted to, I could have shot this guy, but I didn't want to get dinged for shooting at a civilian, even though I didn't know it was a civilian. Okay, how am I supposed to know when you're just running away from me like that? Instead of going for the actual enemy, I have to deal with these dumb civilians who don't know how to listen and are just cussing me out. Thankfully, the Lord taught me to love my enemies, so I decided to give them some grace, just like how Jesus gives me grace. And I realized they must just be scared, and they didn't attack. Instead, I walked over to the other guy who ran away and yelled once more for him to get on the ground. He did, and I was able to get them both secured. Was that brave, merciful, stupid, reckless? Probably all of them, but hey, I'm trying my best right now. I then made my way upstairs, continuously staying behind cover in case the man upstairs had a weapon. The moment I started stepping onto the top floor, I heard my men start shooting behind me. I didn't know at the time, but right as I was making my way up, the enemy was making his way down on the other staircase. So of course my team took him out. I secured his body and gun and made my way through the top floor. I noticed the door with the children's drawing all over it. I remembered it from my last run. So I kept it in mind that that's where Michael was. But there was one more door that I needed to clear. I approached the door with my squad and a man was standing in the doorway holding a pistol. We told him to drop it and he raised it to one of my guys' heads, so we all shot at him. Again, I got no clue why he didn't just drop it and comply. This would have gone a whole lot smoother. Because once I went into the room, it was absolute war.
Provide support. Police, get your hands up! Got something down here.
Talk to lead. Jam's notified.
I had shot at two armed enemies and sent my men into the other room to secure it while I looked for the dudes I killed, securing one and losing the other that was out on the balcony. I went inside to check if he was in the bedroom. All I saw was the civilian my men found kneeling in the bathroom. Why did they not detain her? They love to detain any other person I'm approaching, but when they find people on their own, they just leave them. Anyways, I had bigger issues. I detained the woman and went looking for the other dude on the balcony, but I couldn't find him. I searched in all places we had been. I don't know if the game bugged or something, but I swear there was a dude out here shooting at me. I couldn't find him, so I gave up and made my way to the doodle door. Yes, that's why I'm calling this room the doodle door. So I made my way to the doodle door. Oddly, when I mirrored the door, no one was in sight. Yet, I had heard people in this room, and we hadn't even cleared it yet. This time, I wasn't playing. I breached the door with a stinger. I checked the bathroom, this time trying to kick it in, but it didn't work. So I opened it slowly and saw the man inside already on his knees. Bro just ranked up from moron to smart moron. Congrats on the promotion. I assume he got scared from me trying to kick in the door, so I just arrested him, securing the last civilian and completing another objective. With that objective cleared, we only had one more. Find Michael and arrest him. Only something tragic had happened that I had no clue about. As I was clearing the living room and making my way to this bedroom, a shot went off. As I went inside the bedroom, another one went off. I didn't know until I saw the body, but one of my men had tried clearing it himself like a hero, and he died. I saw his body, called it in, then in a fit of rage, I threw a flash and ran in and killed both of the suspects in the room. I know we were supposed to get Michael alive, but this dude had already killed me, and now he killed one of my teammates. So I failed to get Michael alive. I didn't really care though. I lost one man, I wasn't going to lose the mission. Once the mission was over, all my men resigned for good reason. It made me realize what other men in the line of battle go through, how quickly it can get to you and bring you suffering. These were all new recruits, and because of this one mission, they just all resigned. Thankfully, this is only a game, and I can just get some new characters for our next mission, and no one was actually killed, but man, these things really happen to actual SWAT officers. It's painful trying to be the hero sometimes. I got reminded of the death of Jesus Christ, how he was tortured and beaten, saving the whole world and shedding his blood to cleanse us from our sins just because he loved us. How Jesus said there is no greater love than a friend laying down his life for a friend. And that's what Jesus did. Lay down his life for all of us. I can see it takes a toll on you, but I completed the mission, got revenge for my fallen comrade, and hired some new men who will be featured in the next video. If you guys enjoyed this replay, go check out my last video where I replayed the mission Thank You Come Again. Also subscribe to stay tuned in. I make a new video every week. God bless, get good rest, I'm out, peace.